19 people killed. Police opened fire in social media protest in Nepal. Now, if you haven't been following this ongoing story, breaking news by the hour there in Nepal, they have really lost the plot. It's a lot of people saying it's Gen Z, losing their shit over the social media ban there in Nepal. I didn't realize Nepal was going through a social media ban because, not much news comes out of Nepal. But here we are, 19 people killed. At least 19 people have been killed as police opened fire on protesters led by those in Generation Z who swarmed a capital city. Chaotic scenes have erupted across the streets of Nepal where 19 people have been killed after demonstrators violently clashed with police during protests against alleged government corruption and a ban on social media. Thousands of protesters led by those in Generation Z swarmed the capital city of Kathmandu on Monday, waving flags and unleashing chants against the social media prohibitions and corruption in one of the country's worst unrests in decades. The crowd swelled as it crossed the restricted area close to the parliament, with some climbing over the wall of the premises, prompting police to deploy rubber bullets, tear gas, water cannon, and cannons and batons. Amnesty International says live ammunition has also been used against protesters who took part in the rallies in districts across the country. Police in Kathmandu Valley said 17 people died in the clash, with another 2 were killed in Sunsari district, eastern Nepal. Local media reported some 400 people were injured, including over 100 police officers, police said. The district administration imposed a curfew on several key areas of the city to bring the situation under control after protesters began to turn violent. I'm not even going to pronounce that name, Mukhtarim Rajal. A spokesperson for the Kathmandu district office told Reuters shocking photos and video footage of unrest show police firing tear gas, water cannons, and demonstrators who pelted stones and set a police barricade alight. A violent clash came after the government blocked 26 unregistered platforms, making several social media sites, including Facebook, YouTube, and X, inaccessible in the country since Friday. Now, if you're unaware that this is about to happen here in Australia, our social media ban is nearing closer and closer. The government is banned it for anyone under, I think, 16. And will our Generation Z kids do this? I doubt it. I don't even think they know it's going to happen. I haven't seen much on TikTok about it here in Australia. I mean, especially not from Gen Z. I think it's going to come around and blindside them that this ban is actually coming in Australia. It's already locked in. It's weeks away now, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they integrate it, how they force everyone to comply with it. Apparently, the AI systems of these social media networks are going to figure out how old the person using it is somehow. I don't get how that's going to work very effectively, because those things aren't fallible. I mean, we see how much AI is shit at the moment still. Like, honestly, people hold it in high regard. I think it's just a really good search engine that lies to you a lot. You can see here, these kids really are not putting up with it. I mean, it's not just social media ban. They do have a communist government. The government said 24 social network platforms were given notice to officially register in Nepal. Officials said the block platforms had failed to register and submit to government oversight, which I think is what's going to happen here in Australia. I think if they're going to do that in Nepal and just ignore the government and just go, screw you, big... I think that's what they should do here in Australia. I know X is probably going to do that. I hope that, Elon stands up for free speech there, because he doesn't let you say the N word or the F word on Twitter. Elon, do something about that. Every time I say anything remotely outrageous, I get a strike or a ban or fucking something. Fix that shit. Come on. I mean, the only thing I've seen on Twitter all day today is the murder of that poor Ukrainian woman in the US. And if that's all over there, I'm pretty sure people can put up with the F word or the N word or something along those lines anyway. The government said 24 social networks were taken down. Popular platforms such as Instagram have millions of users in Nepal who rely on them for entertainment, news and business. Home Minister Ramesh Lekak has resigned at the cabinet meeting on Monday evening following the line protest, local media reported. These guys aren't fucking around. I mean, I don't know where you get one of those big cable reels from. laying around. But yeah, they're not fucking around. Disturbing situation. Sirens wailed through the city as the injured were taken to hospital during the protest. I had been there in a peaceful protest, but the government used force. Imam Magar, 20, who was hit in his right arm, told the AFP. It was not a rubber bullet, but a metallic one. It took away part of my hand. The doctor says I need to undergo an operation. Ranjana, Nepal information officer at the civil hospital, has received many of the wounded. He said he'd never seen such a disturbing situation at the hospital. Tear gas has entered the hospital area as well, making it difficult for doctors to work, she told the AFP. Well, these police are getting pelted, man. Giving the Americans a run for their money. UN calls for a probe. The United Nations demand a swift, transparent probe of the violence. We're shocked at the killings and injuries of protesters in Nepal today and urge a prompt and transparent investigation. UN Rights Office spokeswoman Ravina Shamdasani said that in a statement, we have received several deeply worrying allegations of unnecessary or disappropriate use of force by security forces. Yeah, not going to lie, I'm not surprised. Want to see a change? Student Ikshama Tumrock? Something like that. Turok, the game. 20 said she was protesting the authoritarian attitude of the government. We want to see change. Others have endured this, but it has ended with our generation, she told the AFP. There has been several corruption cases reported in the last few years involving ministers, former ministers, and other high-profile officials. Since the ban of videos contrasting the struggles of ordinary Nepalese with the children of politicians flaunting luxury goods, expensive vacations have gone viral on TikTok, which is still operating. How do you still let TikTok operate when you're banning Facebook, Instagram, and X? Maybe because it's a Chinese spy network? There have been many movements abroad against corruption, and they are afraid that might happen here as well, said the protester. Yeah. In a statement on Sunday, the government said it was respected freedom of thought and expression, was committed in creating the environment for the protection of unfettered use. Nepal has restricted access to popular online platforms in the past. The government blocked access to Telegram messaging app in July, citing the rise in online fraud, money laundering. Yeah, only the government's allowed to do fraud and money laundering, guys. Don't forget that. It lifted a 9-month ban on TikTok in August last year after the platform agreed to comply with Nepali regulations. Violent protests driven by discontent over inequity and lavish perks. The lawmakers have rocked Indonesia in recent weeks. A year ago, a student-led popular uprising over job quotas ousted the long-time leader of Bangladesh. I'll go to X here and you can, you can see... They're not fucking around, man. Like, it kind of looks like AI, honestly. Yeah, maybe? I'm not sure. Anyway, well, you can see they are currently losing their shit and taking down communist flags. Good job. Good job, boys. Good job, girls. You guys are, standing up for yourselves. Unlike England, where you can get arrested for calling someone a muppet, apparently. Nepal is on fire at the moment. It's kind of crazy, actually. Yeah. The 19 people that have been killed is only going to fuel the violence. Killing protesters doesn't generally end well for the police. They are pretty much fueling the fires. I've seen reports that the police are now actually siding with the protesters, and they are, I'm not going to show them on here, but there are plenty of videos on X where they're dragging dead politicians through the streets, throwing communist politicians into rivers, and it's gotten out of hand. It might even escalate further into a full-on civil war if the government doesn't get control, or I hope they don't get control. I hope these guys, stand up for themselves and take power and, bring in a democratic country where they're allowed free speech and we're allowed free thought. This is where Australia is going. It's I don't know whether Australia has the backbone to stand up for it, because I think that we have been sold down this river of socialist welfare, and I think too many people are too comfortable in Australia. And I don't think the government's ever going to let it get too uncomfortable for people to actually get to this point where they are going to protest in the street en masse, to the point where they are, killing politicians. It would not really be the Australian way to do that. And I don't think Australia's got it in them to even stand up and, hold a decent protest. I mean, we did have a decent protest the other week about the immigration and housing crisis problem. And, it was 99% peaceful. There was one little group of apparent Nazis who I think had just policed plants. And that happened in Melbourne, of all places. Who would have thought? But, peaceful protests. And it was just an event where family members get together and friends, and they, got out and protested for what they care about, which is their country, their freedom and their rights. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think a Gen Z in Australia is going to stand up for themselves like this generation has? Because I highly doubt it. And I think that they are just going to roll over and take it. There's going to be people getting around it with VPNs, things like that. The social media networks might not even go along with the government stepping on them and telling them what to do. They might just tell them to get screwed. And I think X is one platform that might do that. Facebook, Google and things like that, they're not really pro free speech, are they? But X isn't doing too well for free speech, in my opinion, anyway. What do you guys think? Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.